Hello everybody, Poto here. This is my Ruger 5.7. Uh, as you can see, it's not just your kind of base pistol. I say that as if there's anything special done to the internals. All there is a optic plate and a Olight Osight it's already cleared by the way, uh, to just give you a nice little red dot for a decent, you know, price, I'd say, because I got this on sale for about 150. And this is the 3 MOA. And then a Valkyrie PL-3S, also from Olight, which is very bright. I'm very happy with it. Uh, I'm personally a fan of Olight. Granted, I do not have much experience with other things. I will admit the price point has drawn me in, and that is why I like Osight. But as for the gun, being kind of I'm going to say mid-range option for 5.7s, and for anyone who doesn't somehow know what a 5.7 is, well, this is the ammunition for it. It just looks like a little 5.56, essentially. Uh, it's otherwise known as a 5.7 by 28. This was developed by FN for the PDW trials. Essentially, this was made and developed alongside the P90, while other companies were also developing a similar round. I say similar in very big air quotes, because the whole point of the 5.7 cartridge was to be going through those trials to be a replacement for 9mm in NATO. As most can probably tell, we are still using 9mm for a lot of NATO, so 5.7's not that round. Um, Ballistically, though, it is still a really cool round. And the pistols tend to be really cool, whether you've got the Smith & Wesson, the Palmetto, or the FN, which is the original 5.7 pistol. Um, I went with the Ruger because I have a slight lean towards Ruger. I like Ruger. It's kind of the guns I have the most experience with and exposure to. So that's why I went with the Ruger, even though it was not the most expensive, but the second most expensive. Because this is like a $700 retail. I paid, I think, $650 for it at a Rural King. So, not bad. But also the Smith & Wesson comes in, I'm pretty sure, 600 even. The Palmetto you can get for, I believe, 4 to 450, and then the FN, being the expensive one, is over $1,000. Sometimes you can catch them on sale for around, 750 to 800, but if they're not, you're paying a good lot. Uh, Now, this being the second most expensive, is this the second most best? Couldn't really tell you. So from shooting the other, this is the only 5.7 I own. I've shot a FN 5.7. I do kind of prefer this over that, but also that was a completely bare pistol. This was set up like this with the light and optic, so more weight, little more on the nose to make it shoot flatter, which it's a 5.7, it already shoots pretty flat. But yeah. Other than that, I have not actually shot the Smith & Wesson, uh, and I have not shot the Palmetto. But comparing this to the FN, this does shoot a bit better. Granted, that could be with the extra weight under the nose. I'm not really going to say the optic really affects how it shoots, it affects how you aim. But that doesn't really affect the characteristics of the handgun itself, in my opinion. Uh, but yeah, this does have a very interesting takedown, as most of the 5.7s tend to, because they're not your typical kind of pistol takedown. Uh, at least in the sense of you're not sliding the slide the whole way forward. Easiest way to do it, I just like using the butt plate of the mag. and you find this little nub and just press it through. Once you do that, you can flip it over and you can manipulate this by just bringing it straight down till it clicks. Now you're ready to disassemble. All you're going to do, push back and then come forward a bit, and then you can lift straight up. And that's how you take that down. You can see in there, it's very simple. Nothing crazy there. You know, you got your whole trigger assembly here. There's a bar that goes back, just typical stuff. It is an internal hammer, which is kind of neat. And then it's got the paddle style safety that goes through the entirety of the sear. Other than that, for the barrel, like the slide, you can see the usual rail. You see the recoil spring being actually quite long, considering this is a near 5-inch barrel. I believe it's like a 5.94. So it's a longer barrel if you're planning on having it as a carry gun, which I do. In my opinion, barrel length is not as big of a factor for carry as your grip length is, because obviously the longer your grip, the harder it's going to be for it to not print on your side, because I hip carry, I don't appendix. Now obviously a longer barrel will affect if you appendix, and grip length is not going to matter. That's just kind of going down to personal, you know, how you like to carry. Yeah, putting it back together, just as easy. All you're going to have to do, I just kind of go palm in, because you have to make sure the barrel does not stay forward a bit, because if it does, you can't actually lock it back down. So you just push till it's flush, and then give it a little bit, and you're just going to flick the switch back up at the same time. So I'm just going to unset it real quick just to show. Just going to press in, give it a little bit extra, and there you go. And then just press that back in. Just make sure it sets in. It's a little bit of a stiff push. That's why you kind of use the mag to push out on the other side. You have more real estate on this side to push on. You can get like your full thumb over it, so it's not bad. Other than that, it has, as I previously mentioned, that ambi kind of paddle style safety on the back. It's not bad. It doesn't get caught on anything. Especially with the holster I have, which is more of a custom holster than what a lot of people would have. It's a 3D printed bottom cut up on the top. This is actually a We the People Ruger American holster that I modified by cutting and then designing a lower portion to actually go on to accommodate the light. Trim the top to fit for the optic, and yeah, gets you a decent retention. I do like my holsters a little looser. That is kind of a personal thing. It's just kind of, I don't like having to yank it. I like having a smoother draw. It still has decent retention from the light itself actually pinching in, like down on this portion, and obviously the light is protected. I may redesign this at some point just because having this not be as square on the bottom, especially up top, will definitely help with not printing as much. I'm not super concerned about printing, but I would like it to not be the world's most obvious thing that I am carrying a gun. Because that's kind of the point of concealed carry. So, you know. Other than that, honestly, gun does shoot really nice. I don't have any footage to overlay. At some point, much like with the High Point, I will upload videos of me shooting them, just as a separate kind of short video. Other than that, it comes with two 20-round mags. I just have them fully loaded because I tend to. And yeah, ammo's still obviously not cheap for 5.7. Depending on where you get it, I try to get it from my local Rural King because A, it's close, and B, they have it for around $34 a box. You go to a range, good luck. Probably paying $40 to $45 a box for 50. And all you're probably going to find is the Federal Red box, because that's all I can really find locally. You may have different luck. I do not. So, yeah. But, other than that, that's it. that's my 5.7. And yeah, hope you guys liked the video. At some point, I'll probably do a little more scripted type stuff instead of just this rambling style of video. It's kind of nice to do the rambling style. It just lets me get random words out, random thoughts out. But obviously, scripted will be something that'll be a little higher production quality. Actually, have some editing to it instead of just a kind of one-shot upload. So that'll be that. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.